My name is Travis, and I am going to do a quick fly-through walkthrough of a concept for a level for Overwatch that I have blocked out in Unreal Engine. A quick addition before I continue the video, I forgot to mention when I initially recorded it. I will also be displaying clips of gameplay in Overwatch to illustrate how the flow actually happens, and it will demonstrate a few different game types. I'll play it alongside the footage that I already recorded, but after playing through the blockout that I did, kind of realized, along with maybe adjusting the pathways and other things like that, it might be better suited towards a different type of game mode, which I'll display some of the ones that I thought it might work better as well, and I will label that when they come up. So the idea for my map is based on the character Moira. She is a geneticist, and the map is called Health Genetics, be a lab in her home country of Ireland. And the idea was for it to be a hybrid map, which is a type of game mode where you capture the payload. So it would be a point, for example, right where this is. You would have to fight the defending team as the attacking team, and then you would fight for control of the payload initially. Once you gain control as the attacking team, you then proceed to escort the payload on a set path throughout the map. So the idea is to capture it, escort it through a few checkpoints to an ultimate destination that would then win you the game.
Hello there.
Escort the payload.
My ultimate is ready. You're powered up. Get in there.
So I will do a fly through explaining some of the things on it and basically just show you what I've gotten as far as a blockout. The goal was to just do a blockout to get a good understanding of how the level would play out and to see if I could get the design I wanted. Oops, that's loud. After actually finishing it and running through it a few times and making some adjustments, I may decide later to adjust the game type, because I did learn a few things going through it, but the idea is there and it presents itself and you'll be able to see that. But start here at the intended attacking spawn for the first point. So the attackers would start in the parking lot here of the facility, and the first point would be right around here. The fights would happen and everything. They'd capture the payload, begin escorting it here, and I will have a sketch that I did for the overhead, and you'll be able to see that, and I'll reference that. I'll show it there on the screen. But you would escort it here through the initial lobby. This room would be the attacker's second spawn after they capture it. You would proceed to escort it through here and then snake around here. One of the ideas I had with the map was to have a lot of high ground, so I kind of wanted to separate it into two levels. So I made a lot of catwalks and pathways like that to facilitate that idea. Pretty much most of them are all over the place. Pretty much every hallway has that. But there will be multiple levels throughout. But you would escort the payload around here through this corner, which you would then come to this open area. And with a lot of the maps in the game, they're usually hotspots or places where a lot of action happens or fights tend to break out. And that's kind of my idea with this spot, was to have a large open space with different things in here that would facilitate that goal. As far as the theme, since it's a genetics lab, that would kind of be split into two parts. The first half, which is what you're seeing here, if the lighting would kick in, would be like the public-facing portion where they would be able to display their work that they are comfortable showing the public, and it would be also like a lobby area. So any people or corporations or whatever that would want to do business with them could come in. This would be where they would meet. Things like that would happen. The second portion would be sort of like the R&D lab, and it would be divided by this gate right here. Basically, they are not really working on the most legal of experiments, so they kind of want to separate that, and that's what the gate is for, to keep the public eye out. As you escort the payload through this area, if you make it to the front of the gate here, that would be the first checkpoint. At that point, the gate would then open, and then you would proceed on to the second half. This room right here on the sketch would be the defender's first spawn area, and then the attacker's third spawn as they progress through. But that might change later. Just going through it as I learned some more about it. Of course, the scale is massive. I'd have to tone that down, but would probably need to make a few more accessible areas or pathways. But you would then proceed to escort the payload through this hallway, which again, more catwalks. Here's a accessible one for the attackers to go up that way. It would snake around to the other corner, and then one that's more on the defender side over here, and then a small little room which you can see on the sketch as well, just kind of like a side room that can be used for pretty much anything, to set up an attack, to hide in, things of that nature. By the way, all these crates and things, just placeholders for whatever props or whatever would be in this area, and then would fit with the theme of the map. The payload would then sneak around here with the ultimate goal in that room there. And let's see, go up here. This area is another spot that I kind of made with the intent to have another spot or open area for fighting. Be a good place for the defenders to hold. Nice open area where they could have a lot of different points that they could take advantage of. Places to easily hold. Would accommodate a lot of the characters, different styles of play, things like that. Especially with that high ground over there, which the attackers can access on the other side, but it's easier for the defenders to access since their spawn for the last one is actually in this room right in front of those stairs. But I also have a set of stairs here with another catwalk that would be on the other side of this room. But the final room here would be where the payload eventually goes, right here. Defenders spawn in this room, and the idea with this one would be like the secret lab where the more illegal experiments are being held, and kind of had the idea with these like tubes to show off the experiments for whatever it is they are, and the whole fight for the defending the last point, pushing the payload, would be in this room with the experiments, and kind of the theme would involve that. But as far as the map itself goes, that's essentially the basics of it. The structure is there. A lot of room for improvement, but that is something that would be iterated on. Yeah, that's pretty much it.